Today I'm going to share with you the best place to be placing your take profit, where you should be placing your stop loss, where you should be entering your trade, and trade management, all using the supply and demand methodology. You probably clicked on one of the best videos that you could click on to understand this concept. The amount of people that reach out to me and they say, I would only be profitable, but prices just miss my entry and then take off in my direction. Or they say, prices stop me out by 1 pip and then prices reverse. Or they might say, prices go directly to my take profit, but then reverse and stop me out. I would only be profitable if all those things didn't happen. Well, tell you what, easy fix. Move your stop loss an extra 1 to 2 pips. Get out of your trade 1 to 2 pips sooner. You're having problems by not getting your fill, prices just missing your entry. Well, then move your entry closer to price by 1 to 2 pips. It's like the most brain dead thing. Chances are that is not the reason why you are not making money in trading. It's a list of other things. But like I said, we are going to talk about take profit, stop loss, trade management, entries, trading the supply and demand methodology. Let's get into it. There are 2 videos that I've done in the past that I'm going to pop up on the screen right now. How to trade like a casino and best reward to risk and understanding win-loss percentage. Those are 2 extremely important videos that I will have in the description below for you to check out. Let's talk about entries first. There are so many different ways to enter a trade, but the concept of supply and demand is we want to be buying in demand and selling in supply, right? We draw out our zones. I mean, you shouldn't be entering a trade if you don't know how to properly draw a supply and demand zone. And if you don't know how to do that, I will put that tips playlist down below for you to check out, all covering the supply and demand methodology, as well as more videos on take profit, entries, stop loss locations, confirmation setups, multiple time frame. That will all be in the description below. So if you know how to draw out your demand zone, this is your demand down here that we have marked out. We have our proximal line and our distal line. If you are confused by that, like I said, that video down below will talk about how to draw zones and identify them. We are talking about entering a trade. We simply enter on our proximal line when we're buying, and we enter on our proximal line when we are selling. All right, so we have a supply zone right here. We would place our entry right there by our proximal line. That is how we enter the trade. You want to look at a trade review that I took. Let's look at this trade. All right, here is a supply zone that I'm entering in. Here's a rally-based drop supply zone. We will talk about take profits in a minute. I am entering my trade at the proximal line. Right there at that black line, that is where I get my fill. Boom, very easy. We just covered how to enter a trade. Check. Let's move on to take profits. All right, how to take profits. This is a big problem I see on the internet. It's just like entries and stop losses and trade management. There are many different ways that you can exit your trade for a take profit. Some people might get out strictly at a 1-to-1. Some people might get out strictly at a 2-to-1. Some people might want to go for 3-to-1. Some people might want to go for multiple take profits. Some people might get out at a technical support level, at an opposing technical support level. And some people might want to get out once they decided, hey, today's the day I'm going to get out of my trade. Whatever, it's up to you. What is important is that you are consistent with it. Now, the more that you ask from the market, I talk about this in understanding win-loss percentage and the best reward in that video I mentioned at the start of the video. I mentioned, if you start asking for more in the market, you are going to have a smaller win-loss percentage. So if you take trader A, that his whole life has been a winner, playing video games, whatever. He's winning on championship teams. And then he goes into trading, and then you give him this trading strategy that's saying, hey, we got to get 5-to-1. Great, we make $500 for every $100 that we lose. That strategy, that way to take profit, is going to be very detrimental to that guy, because historically his success in life, in sports and everything, is he's winning 80% of everything he does. And now you go to trading where you're asking him to lose 80% of his trades. That guy is going to start freaking out after he's lost 5 trades in a row. And when you have a 75% losing strategy, right? Yes, you will still be profitable long term, but when you have a 75% losing strategy, if that trader can't handle that, well, it's not going to work out well for him. So that trader has to adjust his strategy, his take profits to make him, to make himself feel good and something that he can consistently take. So in this case, he might want to say, hey, I will get out at a 1-to-1. Or in fact, I am going to get out at a 0.5-to-1 reward to risk. He does that, okay, he's going to have a higher win-loss percentage. Now, does it make the most sense statistically and money-wise long-term? Maybe, I don't know. He might have to review his trades after 50 trades. The thing is, and I have a problem with this on YouTube, is people will come here and say, this is the best way. You don't do it, you're an idiot. It's completely false. It's completely false. There's so many different ways to enter trades, trade management, stop loss, take profits. The problem is that people just system jump and hop around and they look for the next best thing and they don't create a trading plan or strategy that fits them best. So I was going on a little rant there. So for me, I like to get out at 2-to-1, 3-to-1. That's just how I like to do it. All right. Some traders, like an example, Muhammad, I'll show you a trade example of what he trades on the screen. He likes to get out maybe at 2 take profits. Okay. What's important is that he's consistently taking the same trade setup and he's managing to trade the same with the same take profits. Like I said, everybody is going to be different, okay? So, hey, figure out what you like best. 1-to-1, 1.5-to-1, 2-to-1s, multiple take profit. Neither one is better than the other, all right? Fit the trading style to you. So that is how I'm going to answer take profit. You think I'm an idiot? Congratulations, you think I'm an idiot. Good for you. Let me know in the comments below. Help me boost that algorithm. Okay, so let's move on to stop loss location because this is something that we can talk about. Now, actually, let's just look at trade reviews. I think that's the best way to learn, guys. Why did I have my stop loss up here? Why can't I draw? Okay, here we go. So here is my entry. I'm getting in there. I have my distal line up there. I want to have my stop loss just above, just above. I personally don't think that there's no need to have it way up there. I see that there's structure over here to the left. There's another supply zone here. So I would want it just above right there. Now you have to keep in mind, you are going to be battling with the spread. And now this is a big concept that we could get into, but I'm not going to get into this video because it's going to stretch into a 45-minute video. So we talked about this supply zone, rally-based drop. I am going to place it above, just in this case, because it's a 5-minute zone, and it appears to me this is going to be a 10 pip zone. I'm just going to place it 5 pips above. The spread is probably 2 pips, 1 pip. So I'm going to place it 2 to 5 pips above. All right, that's me. Let's look at another trade as an example. Let's see. So in this case, this one was a stop out. This is where people would be coming to me saying, oh, I get stopped out, then prices reverse. I get stopped out all the time and prices reverse. Hey, it's part of the game, man. It's part of the game. In this case, I had a wider stop loss. I just placed it right above. Honestly, that's probably one of the widest stop losses I've had this year. If we look at this one, for example, here is a trade on US 100. This was a stop out at break even. Here's my distal line. I want to make sure that I don't get out of my position because if I have my stop loss right here, well then prices don't even have to break this supply zone in order for me to get out of my trade. So I will accept that I am wrong on this trade once prices break through this zone by 1 to 2 pips. And so once it breaks it by 1 to 2 pips, I will accept I am wrong on the trade and I get out. All right, there is no need to have my stop loss double the size or 1-to-1 the size of the zone. If my entry to my distal line, my proximal line to distal line is 10 pips, it's probably going to be my stop loss hovering around 2.5 to 5 pips above or below the distal line. So in this case, supply, I'll have it 2.5 pips above. If this was demand, I would have it 2.5 pips below. Okay? 2.5 to 5 pips below, just as a little buffer. Quick thing for a tip for you guys on that. If that's your zone, in my opinion, unless it's a major structure stop loss, which is totally something that we could get into, but it would take way too long, then I might have it at 1-to-1. But I'm really not looking at having my stop loss the same size as my proximal line and my distal line of my supply or demand zone. Okay? We go over here as an example. If I'm entering here on this proximal line as my entry, we already talked about entries. Well, my stop loss is probably going to be here, probably right around there. Just right around there. That's pretty reasonable. Gives it some time for stop hunts, a small room for stop hunts, breaking the zone, then reversing. And then for take profits, I personally like to get out at the opposing supply zone. Like here is an opposing supply zone because I'm trading the supply and demand methodology. This is a opposing supply, so I want to get out of it. If it's not offering me enough profit margin, then I simply don't get into the trade. Okay? We have covered entries, stop losses, take profit. Let's talk about trade management because this one will get a lot of people. Just like stop losses, entry, take profit, trade management, there are so many different ways to manage a trade. What is the best way to manage a trade? Should you go all in, all out? Do you move your stop loss up every 20 pips that prices go in your favor? Do you follow it with structure pivot points following lower lows, lower highs, or higher highs and higher lows? An example of that is, say, for example, we sell up here, prices drop, and then we place our stop loss here, and then prices drop again, then we change it to here, and then it drops again, then we change our stop loss to there. Totally could. Totally could. That is one way that you could do it. What I'm trying to explain to you guys, and I want you guys to understand this, is there's so many different ways to do this. Are you going to be the trader that just says, you know what, I am in the trade, I am going for 3-to-1, and I am going to either hit my take profit or prices reverse and stop me out? That's totally fine. That is totally fine. All right. Or do you want to be the trader saying, hey, I am going to move my stop loss to break even after 2-to-1. I'm going for a 3-to-1 or a 4-to-1, but after it goes 1-to-1, 2-to-1, you move your stop loss to break even. Okay, I will do that, right? Do that then. What's important is after you have completed 50 trades is you can review all these beautiful things and you can look at all your trades that you've taken saying, what would have happened to my money, my stats, my win-loss percentage, how much money I have made over the last 50 trades? What happens if I change my take profit from a 2-to-1 to a 4-to-1? How do I make more money? Do I lose more money? Does it affect my win rate too much? What happens if I move my stop loss to break even? Do I make more money? Do I lose more money? Whatever, right? This is why journaling is so important. In fact, I'm going to pop on the screen the importance of having a trading plan as well as why you should be back testing. Those will also be in the description below for you to check out. Trade management. How do I like to do it? I'm personally a fan of getting. I switch it up from time to time because the strategy is always changing. But I like to go for like 2-to-1, 3-to-1, all in, all out. I will move my stop loss to break even after like a 1.5-to-1 or a 2-to-1 play. What's important is what you don't do, and this is how a trader. I will pop it on the screen. A trader lost 53 trades in a row. I know. How do you do that? Honestly, the guy self-sabotaged his own trading. What was he doing? As soon as prices went in his favor, he was instantly moving his take profit or his stop loss to break even. It would move instantly, break even, right? Price would move a little bit into his favor and then move it up to break even, then the price would reverse and stop him out. The guy did it to himself, all right? So you got to let your trade breathe. Let it go 1-to-1. Let it go 2-to-1, all right? This is how you get consistent results, guys. We have covered take profit, entries, stop loss, trade management. We just covered everything about what the best way. It's important to figure out what you like. And the good news is, I know it can be very overwhelming. I totally get it. The good thing is, I give it to you if you become part of the Moneyball Trading Program. If you guys want to join the masterclass and get access to that and learn why 90% of the traders are losing money, what separates the profitable traders from the losing traders, a supply and demand ebook, check it out, moneyballtrading.com. That will be in the description below. All right, get your free training there and lots of free bonuses as well. If you guys really enjoyed this video, I appreciate you guys liking the video and subscribing. It really helps me grow this channel. And if you guys have any questions, you guys can reach out to me on social media at any time at Moneyball Austin. I will see you guys in the next one. All those videos I mentioned throughout this video will be in the description below. Thank you guys so much. Have a great weekend. Cheers. Bye-bye.